Okay, my name's Eamon Flack and I'm the director of Michael Gow's new play Once in Royal David City. The response has been really lovely.
Response, that was what I was looking for.
Twice now. 2 previews and both good responses from the audience, which is great because you're always kind of in terror when you're previewing and you never really know whether it's going to work or not, so you're kind of entirely dependent on those responses. But at the same time, especially with a new play, you're still learning so much. And everyone always says that, directors get up in previews and say, oh, we're going to learn from you tonight, but actually you really do. So I think that this sort of that thing of going, how do we just open up that bit of the play, or how do we get from there to there in a way that pushes things further rather than settles them down. So that's kind of all I've been thinking about for the last 3 or 4 days. Yeah. And Michael's so, he just kind of gives it to you. And it's so fantastic. But at the same time, you feel a great sense of obligation to a new play, and especially to a playwright like Michael, who's such a master. And so you are very interested in, more than anything, articulating the play, and kind of finding the clearest, cleanest way just to kind of like put the play out here with the audience and not do much more than that, I think. I think that's the job of a first production. I think second and third productions can kind of do different things, but a first production really should just be about the play, I think.
It almost feels, I mean, just from the scenes today, it almost feels like you've literally created a blank canvas on the stage, and you're allowing the actors to really, paint that picture.
Yeah, but again, that's what Michael wrote. He's written a play which takes place in many different locations, but which is also very interested in the theatre and in speaking, and it felt like the play takes place on a stage. It doesn't take place in in a backyard or in a living room. It actually does just take place on a stage, so we just made a stage, I guess. And we didn't need anything more than this, I think. It's got a very special way of letting one moment become a completely different thing in a split second, really, I think. I don't know, Michael directed Angels in America when he was much younger, so I wonder if that's got a little bit of something to do with that, the ease with which he leaps from one moment to the next. But I also think it probably is very naturally a way that Michael thinks, actually. And
his plays are often premiered here in this very theatre, so there's a very good relationship between he and the Belvoir.
Yeah, so Toy Symphony was here, and now Once in Royal David City, and Michael's very first play, 3 decades or so ago, premiered on this stage, but when it was Nimrod, before it was Belvoir. And then he kind of went off and worked elsewhere. He didn't go off and work elsewhere. His plays happened to premiere elsewhere until Toy Symphony. Yeah.
And now back to where it began?
Yeah.
So, I guess in your own words, tell us a little bit about what we can expect from this play, which sounds like a very difficult task.
It is quite difficult, actually. There are 7 actors who spend a lot of time playing many different roles and situations, and then there is one actor who is sort of stuck in the centre of it all, and that actor is not unlike a kind of modern day, I think if Ebenezer Scrooge were a theatre director rather than a guy who makes money, then it's actually not a bad comparison. And these other kind of figures kind of haunt him and drive him on towards a sort of, not really a revelation, but a restating of what the fucking point is, quite frankly. And it's a political restating as well as a personal and emotional restating. And the kind of political restating of a set of principles about society and about how we live together and what we learn from each other is fierce and, on Michael's part, kind of brilliant, I think. And that ultimately is the job, I think. The whole sort of first 90% of the play is just about making sure that the last 10% of the play can be heard with the clarity that it should be heard with, I think.
And it seems like pretty much every character's on stage for the entirety of the play?
We begin with a kind of great sense of company, but I think as Will's story gets lonelier, so does the actor playing Will. Yeah.
And with the actors, what's it been like working with them? You've got an incredible ensemble.
Yeah, they're like, I know, it's an ensemble of extraordinary senior Australian actors, kind of playing a whole lot of small roles, but you kind of need actors that good because every figure who turns up on this stage has to be so note perfect, I think, in order for the track of the thing to go where it needs to go. So, what an incredible cast to have playing what a sort of ensemble or supporting roles, really. People I grew up watching, and working with them is kind of, you have to keep reminding yourself that that's what you're doing. It's quite special, to be honest. And the fact that is happening alongside the same time as working on a new play of Michael's, it feels, I don't know, humbling and terrifying, actually.
A lot of worlds have aligned to allow it to happen.
Yeah.
And so, at the end of this play, do you know if it's going to be touring? Is it going to get outside of Sydney?
Who knows? I mean, I think the play is pretty extraordinary, and I think the play will definitely have a further life. Whether this particular production does, or whether there's other productions, who knows?